Hello, my friends, and welcome to another fucking episode of Aggressive Pogo here in the Great League, featuring the one and only Mew, the original legend from the first fucking Pokemon movie. This thing is so fucking good. I think that now that Trevenant is gone, it actually has a place in GBL, because Trevenant was such a fucking problem. And I end up switching Registeel out for Swampert later on, Shadow Swampert. But Registeel did pretty well, as you can see, coming into the Bastiodon. And Mew has so many unexpected moves. Like, you don't know what it's going to throw. And I have Flame Charge. Usually people run Surf and Flame Charge, or Surf and Wild Charge. It's more common, but I decided to run Flame Charge and Wild Charge. I think it just makes more sense. I get to boost my attack. If I'm up shields, I get to hit even Swamperts with a Wild Charge, non-stab, boosted from a Flame Charge, will almost do 50%. So it's something, you know, you have to like weigh the positive and the negatives, and I felt like this was just a really good moveset. So Registeel just completely taking over this game, and my opponent realizes he has to throw energy because I'm going to get to a Zap Cannon, or he thought I was going to get to a Zap Cannon, but I already have a Wild Charge loaded on the Mew. Boom! And that's a fucking G. Let's go, dude. I had so much fun running Mew. I actually tried making a Mew video a long time ago, and it didn't work out because of those Trevenants, man. I kept seeing them. They kept popping up every fucking second. And I love Trevenant. I have absolutely zero problems with that. But it is nice for the meta to shift and for things to change a little bit. Like, Nidoqueen was gone, and now Trevenant's gone, and I think it just cancels each other out. I feel like that just makes sense. However, these steals are going to have more leeway. Like, you know, all of these psychic Pokemon are going to have more leeway because Trevenant's going to be less dominant and you're going to see it less. I wonder where it's ranked on PvPoke. I actually haven't checked. I should probably check that out. And Ninetales is just going off right now, getting to another Dazzling Gleam, taking out the Medicham. And what is my opponent going to do here? He brings in a Trevenant. Speaking of the devil, going for the Weather Ball. This won't be enough to take it out, but it does a shit ton of damage. And I'm catching the move on Mew. If he didn't throw, I was going to go for the Flame Charge, but he ended up throwing. And I'm able to farm down with a fucking Swampert. And now there's nothing the Seal can do or throw that will do anything. And I'm able to get to the disrespectful Earthquake. Not even using the shield either, like a fucking... Oh, you know what? I actually didn't have any shields. What am I talking about? But anyway, like I said before, had so much fun. Check this out. Mew into a Lowland Sandslash, and he has the Shadow's Claws, which are doing so much damage. My opponent trying to go for the Drill Run. I get to the Flame Charge, and my opponent does not expect it. Almost one-shotting the Sandslash. You fucking love to see it. And my opponent quits, and that is a G fucking G, able to Shadow Claw down after taking the Ice Punch into a Skarmory. Another good lead, and Whiscash is coming in, and unfortunately I didn't get to swap out on time. I should have, but he gets to the Mud Bomb. I swap out then, and I don't use a shield, so we're still even shields, and I'm just gonna spam Powder Snow, probably build up to the Dazzling Gleam to try to bait one time, and then I'll just keep going for the Weather Balls if he doesn't fall for it, which he didn't. And now he's going, I thought he was switching out, but he's actually staying in the Whiscash, and I'm shielding up. I want to get shields or switch advantage, but it looks like I lost track of my opponent's energy, and he's way ahead of me, and I let it go, and I'm thinking I could try to farm down, or just get to the back-to-back actually. Taking out the Whiscash, getting to another Weather Ball up against whatever came in, and it's a Quagsire, and I'm currently building my Shadow Quagsire. Really looking forward to using that thing. Swampert into Quagsire. That Mud Bomb is doing so much fucking damage, and the Skarmory's coming back in, and I'm just gonna spam these Hydro Cannons. I should be able to get to 3 because I feel like Skarmory's just end up trying to bait the Brave Bird possibly. Getting to the 3rd one, but I don't click on it in time, and now Skarmory is going for a move, and it's the Brave Bird, and now we can overfarm a little bit because my opponent has no energy, and this is perfect. Going for the Flame Charge, boosting my attack, and now the Swampert or the Quagsire is coming back in, and I'm going for the Wild Charge, and it does a decent amount compared to what it would have been, and I make a fucking game-winning clutch catch after 3 mud shots onto the Alolan Ninetales, getting to the Wild Charge. What an insane fucking win. Holy shit. I couldn't believe that I counted that correctly and was able to get him to throw the move onto my Ninetales. That was nuts. Into a Jellicent, and even though we're taking super effective damage from the fast move, so is he, and we can one-shot him with Wild Charge, and we'll just get to the back-to-back here. Going for the first one, does my opponent respect it? He does not, and we one-shot the Jellicent. What does my opponent bring in? Going for the Flame Charge, and he brings in a Ferrothorn, and I nearly hit it for like 80%. Holy shit. Dude, I'm telling you, Mew is a fucking problem. Like, look at this. Like, we didn't get any shields, and I'm going for a crazy lock-on farm down. My opponent's going to throw a move, but it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not shielding anything, and I should be able to farm down. My opponent quits, and that is a G. Damn. That was a really good game. Into another good lead with Medicham. You love to see it. And the Registeel's coming in, and I could have just went for some Flame Charges there, but I want to save the Mew for the Medicham, because nothing Medicham throws can hurt me except for Ice Punch, which is non-stab, and it's not a strong attack, so I'm not worried about it. Registeel's coming in to try to Focus Blast me, and I know I can shield here and get ahead on energy, especially since I'm a Shadow Swampert. The Hydro Cannons are going to do so much damage, so that's what I stuck to. I feel like that made more sense. Medicham's coming back in, and look how many moves I'm at, ladies and gentlemen. I could have thrown 2 more Hydro Cannons after that, which I probably should have went for the back-to-back, but I'm still able to make it to another one. A Hydro Cannon, a Earthquake, and another Hydro. Are you fucking kidding me? Swampert going absolutely fucking haywire. And the Ice Punch or the Power Punch is not enough to take me out. Bringing in the Mew, going for the Wild Charge. What did he catch it on? And he catches it on a Bastiodon, but we had the Registeel. My opponent realizes the game is over, and that's a G. Into another Alolan Sandslash. You love to see it. Hoping my opponent goes for the Ice Punch, and he does. This is perfect. And it's not a Shadow Sandslash, so it won't put me in the red. Going for the Flame Charge. Does he know? He does. And now we're bringing the Registeel straight in as a safe swap. And I'm willing to tank anything, or maybe not. Maybe I'm using a shield. And I'm going for the Focus Blast. These are pre-recorded from yesterday, so I don't remember them. Actually, 2 days ago, so I don't remember exactly what goes on in this battle, or these battles in general. But Registeel trying to get to the Zap Cannon. Focus Blast is going to do absolutely nothing because he's part Psychic type. So, hopefully we get the debuff, but we don't. And unfortunately, Medicham is going to be able to tank us farm us all the way down. And Medicham going for a move here. It's a Power-Up Punch. I survive it, and he throws all his energy. And now I should be able to close out with Swampert in the back. Hopefully, I can Mudshot down, but I'm unable to, so I decide to go for a move. And he lets the Medicham go. And what's coming in? A Unova Stunfisk, and we have a shield. All we have to do is get to the back-to-back Hydro Cannon, and I'm really hoping that the second Hydro Cannon does enough to take this thing out. But remember, it's a Shadow Swampert, throwing one Mudshot, throwing my Hydro Cannon. Is this enough? Yes, it fucking is. Get the fuck off my screen. And that is a G. Let's go, baby. Looking good. Into another Medicham. These leads. Mew is fucking winning leads, bro. This is insane. And even up against those Jellicents, we're able to get to that Wild Charge. Up against those Pelipper's, we're able to get to the Wild Charge. Up against those Azumarils that are throwing Play Roughs, we're able to get to these Wild Charges. I'm telling you, like, Mew is really fucking good. And it's gonna be a problem. I think you're gonna, after this video, if this gets enough views, like, we're gonna see a lot of fucking Mews, man. And, like, I hate that I'm giving you guys this idea because I wanted it to be my secret so badly. But Mew is gonna be a fucking problem. This Azumaril doesn't want to die. Just go away. Leave us alone. And the Medicham's coming out. And I'm going straight for the Zap Cannons. This is the beauty of Registeel. I guess I swapped out the Swampert for Alolan Ninetales. That's what I meant to say. I said I swapped it out for the Registeel, but it was the Ninetales. And I'm tanking the move. It was Dynamic Punch, getting to the Flame Charge up against the Stunfisk. This will do a decent amount of damage. You love to fucking see it. 2 more Shadow Claws and I go down, and we have the Swampert up a shield. My opponent realized that's game over, and that's a G fucking G. This team was unstoppable, ladies and gentlemen. I'm dead fucking serious. This team was unstoppable. I was winning match after match after match. Like, dude, look at this. I can shield here and farm all the way down and have moves for the back. Flame Charge or Wild Charge like this thing. Look at this. Oh my fucking god. Able to farm down what's coming in, boosting my attack right away. My opponent brings in a superior, and this is perfect because we have these fucking Flame Charges, and we're not going to swap out. We're just going to let them try to farm us down, and that way we can lock in the Registeel with this thing, and this is going to be a G fucking G, ladies and gentlemen. This superior has nowhere to go. He's going to throw all of its energy, and he's probably weak to the back, to Registeel, because he's not swapping out. So what's going to happen here? What's he have in the back? Is that a Galarian Stunfisk? It is. I couldn't even see with all the lock-on damage. It's a Galarian Stunfisk, and now Registeel. I'm just going to take the Rock Slide bait. Oh my god, calling it correctly. Bringing in Swampert. My opponent going for another move. It's an Earthquake, and I try to call 2 Rock Slide baits. I'm not able to get to the Earthquake myself, so I go for the Hydro Cannon, hoping this is enough, and of course it is. It's Shadow Swampert. Of course it's fucking enough. Into a Clefairy, or Clefable. We're going to be seeing these things a lot more. This move update with Fairy Wind is insane. Clefable is another one that is a fucking problem right now. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is going to be a huge problem. Like, it might even beat Galarian Weezing. I'm not too sure, because Overheat does a shit ton of damage. But Meteor Mash, he's going to get to those so quickly. So all he has to do is shield one of your Overheats, and he's going to beat you in the 2-shield situation, or the 1-shield situation. So it's wild, man. Clefable is fucking boosted. It's so good. I might do a video on it. People have already done it, so I'm not into doing videos that people have recently done, because I know people have made a million Mew videos, but not in a while. I haven't seen a Mew video in a while, and I feel like because of the Trevenant nerf, this thing is just going to be a problem. It's going to be really hard to deal with. Of course, you don't want it to see those Umbreons, but that's basically it. Umbreons, Bastiodon, and Trevenant. And even if you are up against Trevenant, your Shadow Claws are doing a bunch of damage. You can threaten it with the Flame Charge. You're boosting your attack, and the Shadow Claws are going to do more damage. So it's like you can still compete with Trevenant. And he's also not going to get to those Seed Bombs faster than he used to. So I feel like it just makes sense. That's a G fucking G. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one.